Kennings. Kennings are circumlocution, that is, a roundabout way of expressing something. These usually take the form of a two-noun compound. When expressed in modern English, these are often hyphenated, but not always. We see Kennings in Beowulf and other Anglo-Saxon and Scandinavian works. They act as a mini metaphor, but you know what? Let's look at an example. Hronhrada, Anglo-Saxon for railroad. Now, this term isn't about roads, and it isn't really about whales either, so bye whales. It's just a way to say ocean that the Anglo-Saxons and Scandinavian cultures found to be poetic, because that's the road the whales use. But it also conjures up an image in the mind of an ocean, with life, with whales traveling to and fro. Now that one is pretty easy, but not all kennings are as easily interpreted, and some are so tricky there's sometimes debate as to whether something is a kenning for something, or if it's a proper name. But let's look at heiðstapa, which means heather stepper. So, something that steps through the heather. Well, if you're familiar with the local flora and fauna of England or Scandinavia, it helps to come up with stag or deer. Like Whale Road, this conjures up an image that's more than just a stag, but an entire scene in just 2 words. Our final Anglo-Saxon example is that of ring giver. Now, this one is cultural, telling us something about these cultures, and that is that kings were givers of rings. It shows us that gift-giving and generosity were values to be held at the highest of levels. Kings were judged in part by what they would give to the worthy, not what they could take. This kenning, and the idea behind it, is turned on its head as the basis for J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, where the ring giver, the Dark Lord Sauron, uses the rings he gives to enslave many of Middle-earth's leaders. Kennings aren't just ancient history, though. English still makes use of them more often than we realize. So, for instance, a kenning for a lazy person is couch potato, and a kenning for an avid reader is a bookworm. And there are some things we have multiple kennings for. Toddlers might be called both ankle biters and rugrats. So, think of some kennings that you might know, and try out composing some of your own. Your teacher might be a lesson giver, or your parent, a rule maker.